Hi everybody, if you are new here, welcome. If you've practiced with me before, then welcome back. We are going to get started today lying flat on our backs. As you're making your way down, just to note or preface for class today that a block or something equivalent might be a nice to have. There will be standing splits. There's going to be a pyramid pose, so some things high demand for hamstring if you feel like you need that extra support. There will also be a posture now pretty early on our backs where we'll reach to receive a foot with a straight leg. If you have a strap or a towel, something we can use as the equivalent, then you might want to grab one of those as well. And you can pause the video and just kind of jump back on when you're ready. For those of you that are with me, you're on your back and I'll give you about 30 seconds. So you've got some time to move around, to shift in your body a little. We want this shape to feel like there's lots of room, there's lots of space in the body. And you want it to feel like it's a shape that can support feeling really soft and really relaxed here. And then over the next 10 or so seconds, we'll find some stillness. And it can be really regulating and really centering to just take a couple rounds of a deeper breath. So that's all I'm going to ask for us to do initially, is just take some long inhales through the nose. You can exhale either through the nose or the mouth, but let it feel a little drawn out. And as you're breathing this breath, we're starting to shift attention away from anything else and just bring attention to breathing, to body, to things that are happening right now in real time. You might want to have a bit of a mental scan of the body. Note points of the body that can really hold on to uneasiness or tension. Note the belly, the heart space, the shoulders, muscles of the face. You can think jaw, the space between the brows. And it's about becoming conscious of those points of the body and having this conversation with yourself that it's safe to relax into those points. And even if it's just taking the edge off any uneasiness, just letting the kind of overspill of any tension dissipate. And then I'll give you the next 5 or so rounds of breath just to stay here. And just as much as we can, we're bringing the mind to single point of focus, so just bringing mind to breathing. We call this dharana. It's a concentration on one point. You've got about 2 more breaths. Try and breathe those breaths without any rush, without any urgency. And then when you're ready, we'll start to move a little. So you can move the feet or the toes, you can move fingers, maybe roll the wrists. And then reach the arms up above your head and just take a really long stretch along the ground. We'll pull the right knee in towards the body. So bring your right knee in towards your chest. You can either interlace the hands front or back of the right knee, it doesn't matter. Relax the back of the head to the floor if it's not already, and then start to pull the right knee in towards the chest. If you feel like you have the flexibility, you have the capacity, you can also bring the knee just outside of the rib cage and start to direct it in towards the armpit. Whatever variation you're in, that left leg is out of sight, but it's not out of mind. So it's a strong, straight left leg, and that left foot is still flexed. Next time you breathe in, Supta Padangusthasana. So it's pretty early on for this. You're going to kick the right leg up to the sky. If you have the flexibility, you're binding peace fingers around that right big toe and bringing left arm alongside the body. If you don't, you can also just do this with a bend at the knee or loop your strap or the equivalent underneath the ball of the foot and take right hand to hold two ends of the strap. And then before we settle into anything still, just allow for a little bit of movement. So that can be a bend and straightening at the knee. You can even just rock the leg in space a little bit from side to side. We're just looking for different sensation, maybe new sensation, and just kind of assisting that warming or the waking of the leg. And then you'll find stillness through the middle. If you can, we're trying to maintain heel up above the hip. If you have the flexibility, maybe the toes inch a little closer to the nose. Come back to that breath. If you feel like you've lost it, we'll take one more breath here. And then release the bind or release the strap. You're going to rebend the right knee in towards the chest. You can give it a squeeze just for a beat. And then bring the right arm alongside the body. Turn your palm to face down. You're going to scoop the left hand behind the back of the head. Next time you breathe out, crunch your left elbow to your right knee. So you're moving it across the body. You're going to inhale to straighten the right leg to hover just above the floor. And then exhale a straight right leg to the sky. We alternate between a bent leg and a straight leg crunch. You'll inhale to extend to hover, and then an exhale to squeeze and to crunch. So start to find your own groove. You're moving to your own breath rhythm. I want it to feel like you're moving for the full length of the breath. So the expressions physically are long, they're really deliberate, it's really conscious. And I always like to imagine that there's a little bit of stickiness in the air, so there's some resistance that we create for ourselves. We're going to go last two. Keep using the exhales to crunch or to squeeze. Wherever you are, take last one. And then you'll release, bring your right knee back in towards the body. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, supine, twist your right knee, scoops over to the left. Reach the right arm out to the right. And then you can decide here whether you want to have right palm facing the ceiling. You can also flip the right palm to face the ground. And there's nothing here that's superior to the other. It's just different sensation. If you want, maybe you're spending a couple breaths or a couple moments in either. And then just try and allow for that big belly breath here. So there's some room for the belly to expand. Maybe some sensation across the right side of the chest. And then we'll roll back to the spine, bring the right knee back into the chest. You can give it a little squeeze again. Kick the right leg down to meet the left and reach two arms up above the head. So here's that full body stretch again. Take a big inhale to lengthen. And then exhale, bring your left knee in towards the body. You'll interlace the hands either front or back of the knee and start first just by pulling knee towards you. If you've got lots of flexibility, you take the knee just outside of the ribs. And then keep that right leg in mind as well. So it's straight, thinking back of the knee to the floor. Supta Parangostasana, you'll kick the left leg to the sky. Bind the fingers around the left big toe or loop your strap or towel equivalent around the ball of the foot. And then once you arrive there, just kind of coaxing a little bit of space with either the rocking side to side, maybe you want to work a bend and straightening of the knee, maybe it's both. But just listening in instinctively here as to what you feel like will create a little bit of room. And then we'll find stillness and maintain, breathe and hold. Still flex your right foot, that's the leg that's on the ground. And I like to picture that I could send the breath into the part of the body where there's sensation. So as if you could breathe into that left hamstring. We'll release, bend the left knee back in towards the chest. You can give it a little squeeze again here. Bring the left arm alongside the body. Turn the left palm to face down. Bring the right hand to hold the back of the head. And then you're going to exhale to crunch right elbow to left knee. Breathe in to extend the left leg to hover. Exhale a straight leg crunch, its left leg to sky. So we alternate again. Every time you breathe out, that's the crunch. And every time we inhale, we're extending the leg and hovering the head just above the floor. You can start to find a breath that has a fair amount of sound, so it's nice and audible. We'll build a little bit of heat here at the abdominals. And we'll use that core strength or connection a little later on. You can also use that audible breath for a little bit of heat as well. We'll go last 2. You've got 1 more. Pull your left knee back and towards your body. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, supine twist. Left knee goes over to the right. So the left arm again now reaches out to the left, palm facing up or down. And then you can decide whether you want to play around with both or just stick to one. Think of those fairly full belly breaths into the front of the body. And then roll your way back to your spine. So we're going to pull both knees in towards the chest. You can take hands again, either front or backs of the knees, and just take a little rock from side to side. Arms come alongside the body. Turn the palms to face down to the floor. Option 1 is legs up the wall, so you're kicking 2 legs up to the sky. If you have capacity for more, plow pose. You'll rock the toes to touch the top of the mat behind you. See if you can get straight or straight-ish legs, and just breathing into the back line of the body. We're not going to be here for long, so think 2 or so more breaths. And then we'll start to create a little bit of momentum. So you're going to roll from here past lying down. You'll come up to a seat. You can cross the ankles or kick the legs out in front of you. And then we'll go again to roll down to your spine, plow pose, or a legs up the wall. So give it 2 or 3 rocks. Creating some warmth down the spine, like we could literally massage down the back body. And then some of that back line flexibility as you kick the legs up above the head. Next time you rock up, you're going to meet me in a high plank. So you can cross the ankles, step the feet back. You're going to have shoulders over the wrists, 2 legs straight back behind you. And take your gaze down between your thumbs if you haven't already. This is going to be our breath in. As you exhale, lower the whole body down to the floor. You'll untuck the toes at the bottom. Take an inhale to reach 2 arms out in front of you. You'll hover the pinky fingers above the floor. Exhale, cactus the arms. So bend the arms, find a little bit of height in the chest. Land your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes. It's plank to breathe in, straighten the arms. We go again, 2 more. Exhale, lower the whole body down to the floor. Untuck the feet, reach the arms forward as you breathe in. Exhale to cactus the arms. Last time, land your hands, tuck your toes, plank is the inhale. To your belly is the exhale. Arms forward to breathe in. Cactus the arms, exhale. Land your hands, tuck your toes, plank on the inhale. Down dog is your exhale, press the hips back. So I'm not going to give you long. We'll take about 2 breaths here. If you feel like you need to sigh through the mouth, you're welcome to. And then bend the knees a little, look forward. You can step or float the feet to the top of the mat. Bring your big toes together. Take a halfway lift as you breathe in. We'll lengthen the spine. And then an exhale to fold. Think belly towards the thighs. As you inhale, high mountain to reach the arms up. As you get to the top, palms together, exhale, forward fold right away. Fold your belly back towards the thighs. We're going to go 2 more like that. Halfway lift to breathe in. And an exhale to fold. High mountain is the inhale. Forward fold is the exhale. Last time, half lift to breathe in. Exhale to fold. High mountain, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. This time as you breathe in, halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale, vinyasa, land your hands. If you're unsure, it will be a breath out for some kind of lowering. An inhale for a cobra or an up dog. And then an exhale for a down dog to press back. We're going 2 more like that. As you catch the next inhale, it's plank to bring your shoulders forward. Chaturanga or Ashtangasana, exhale. Cobra or up dog, breathe in. Down dog is your exhale to press back. As you catch that inhale, ride the wave, plank. Exhale to lower. Inhale for some kind of back bend. And an exhale to press back. Take one breath in through the nose. One breath out through the nose or the mouth. And then bend the knees a little, look forward. Step, jump or float to the top of the mat. Big toes land to touch again. Take a halfway lift. And exhale, will fold. High mountain as you breathe in. Circle the arms all the way up. This time exhale, Samasthiti. Bring your hands to your heart center. We'll breathe in for first chair pose, Utkatasana. Bend the knees. Think of taking a big scoop out of the air and then reach your biceps up near your ears. We're engaged till the ends of the fingers. There's a fair amount of weight into the heel of the foot and that feeling like you could sit your sit bones back and down. You're going to shift the weight onto the right foot. Bring the left foot to hover just above the floor. You've still got that bend to both knees. Take an inhale to stay. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Bent leg warrior 3. Kick your left leg back straight. Keep a bend in your right leg. And then flex the left foot and roll left toes to face the ground. So I like to think of kicking the heel back like I could imprint the foot on the back wall. Have to engage your left glute. And then pull your ribs together if you need to. So pull the ribs up and away from the thumbs a little. Next time you exhale, land the ball of the left foot to the back of the mat. Lower the hands to the floor. 3-legged down dog as you inhale, reach your right leg to the sky. Don't miss the moment here to feel something in that left hamstring. And then exhale your right knee to your nose. Step your right foot between your hands. You'll lower the back knee down. Half Hanuman, half split. Find a fold into that right leg. If you need blocks, you can elevate your hands on blocks here. You can also just have a little bend to the knee if you need to. And if you feel like you're really flexible here and there's capacity for more, can you think instead of this rounded back, like you could fold from the hip crease, so lengthen the collarbones a little towards the shin. Maybe even you switch on the right quad and see if that changes the feeling in the back of the leg. You can also flare your sit bones up a little to the ceiling. As you inhale, we'll lunge forward, supported lunge. Plant the right foot flat, lift the back knee. Pull the shoulder blades together, so lean the collarbones out in front of you. Exhale, pyramid pose. The back foot will adjust, and we'll take a fold into the right leg. If you're unsure, it's heel to heel alignment, so 2 heels on 1 train track. That back foot sits at a 45. And then push the feet into the ground to make it active. And if you need to, kind of reconfigure a long, long spine down the length of the leg. We'll take 1 more breath. Back to that supported lunge as you breathe in. Step the ball of the left foot back. Long through the back leg. Look forward, collarbones forward. Exhale, forward fold, back foot steps to the top. High mountain to inhale to reach arms up. Exhale, Samasthiti, hands to heart. Chair pose as you inhale, bend the knees. Stay and steady for the exhale. Shift the weight to the right foot again. Float the left foot just up off the floor. Still got that bend to both knees. Now can you keep the arms, full expression of a warrior 3. Float the left leg back. Think of bringing the sternum parallel to the ground. You've still got the arms extended out in front of you. If you have the flexibility, now you can straighten through that standing leg. As you inhale, single leg mountain. Use straight arms to help you. Bring your left knee to your chest. And then see if you can kick the left leg out in front of you. Imagine maintaining hip height. We hold for 3, for 2. On 1, step the ball of the left foot back. Lower the left knee to the floor. Anjaneyasana is your inhale. So we aren't back bending today, so you're going to maintain quite a closed front line body here. So think of pulling the ribs towards themselves. See what happens if you squeeze your left glute and if that changes any feeling in the front of the left hip. And then can you still think wrists or fingers up towards the ceiling a little? We'll take one more inhale. Exhale, lower the hands down to frame that right foot. Standing splits is your breath in. Launch the left leg to the sky. So if it's not accessible at all to lower the hands to the ground, again, you have the blocks if you need to use them. You can also just bend that standing leg. And then think of really folding your belly button down the length of the leg. Use your left glute to keep lifting the left heel to the sky. As you inhale, back to single leg mountain, your left knee to your chest. Use your arms to help you. Exhale, bring your right hand to your right hip. Take peace fingers of the left hand to your left big toe. You're going to attempt to kick a straight or straight-ish left leg out in front of you. You're welcome to bend the knee and then find one focal point for the eyes. Hold for 3, for 2. On 1, release, step the ball of the left foot to the back of the mat. Lower the hands to the floor. Single leg plank is the inhale, right leg to float. Now stay with me. Exhale, single leg chaturanga. You're welcome to lower that left knee. Back to single leg plank, breathe in. Exhale, right knee to nose. As you inhale, take the right knee to tap the ground straight underneath you. And then exhale, suction the knee back to the chest. We'll go 2 more. Inhale to lower. Exhale to suction. Once more, breathe in to tap. Exhale to create that big suction. Lower the right knee under your right hip. Supported side plank on the right. Reach the left arm up to the sky. So we're going to scoop the left arm up and overhead. Bring your bicep near your ear, your palm to face the floor. And then really anchor through the outer blade of the left foot. That's going to give you better sensation. So we're trying to create this big kind of banana shape, this big arch through the left side of the body. And if you want more, you can start to bring a little bend to the right elbow. Keep 2 sides of the waist still facing evenly out in front of you. We're just looking to expand through that left side without creating a back bend and turning chest to ceiling. And then we'll take 1 more inhale. Exhale, high plank, it's 2 hands down to the floor. Step 2 legs back. Gaze between your thumbs, take a breath in. Exhale, belly all the way down. Untuck the toes, arms forward on the inhale. Exhale, cactus the arms. Plant the hands, tuck the toes, plank to breathe in. To your belly is the exhale. Arms forward on the inhale. Cactus the arms on the exhale. Plant the hands, tuck your toes, plank, breathe in. Down dog is the exhale, press back. You've got 1 breath to stay. You can exhale again out through the mouth if you need to. And then bend the knees a little. Make your way back to the top of your mat. Big toes together. We'll take a halfway lift. And a long exhale to fold. Close the eyes if you want to. High mountain, inhale to circle up. And exhale, forward fold. We're going once more. Halfway lift to breathe in. Exhale, fold. High mountain, inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift is your breath in. This time a vinyasa back to down dog. You'll plant the hands. I'm going to let you move through this to your own breath rhythm. We'll meet in a down dog. And then you'll move straight into your second round next time you inhale. So it'll be back to plank. And a second round of a vinyasa. You'll meet me in down dog to stay. And then make your way back to the top of the mat. Take a halfway lift. And an exhale to fold. High mountain as you inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, Samasthiti, it's hands to heart center. As you inhale, Chair Utkatasana, you'll bend the knees, Take that big scoop again of the arms, and then kind of center the eyes, center your breath. Think of centering your mind as well, to just be here in your body. You're going to shift the weight to the left foot, bring the right foot to hover just off the ground. Bring your hands to your heart center, warrior 3 with a bent standing leg. Kick the right leg back, and for now, maintain your hands at your heart center. Think a straight right leg, so really trying to imprint that right foot on the back wall. Pull the ribs towards themselves a little, and then take one more inhale. Exhale, step the right foot back, plant the hands to the ground. 3-legged down dog, breathe in. Don't miss the chance to feel something here. Exhale, your left knee to your nose, step the left foot to the top of the mat. Half Hanuman, half split, the back knee lowers, and we fold. If this is already enough in itself, you stay. If you want more, you think of a long spine, so a little longer across the belly. Think of flaring the sit bones a little to the ceiling, and then maybe switching on that left quad. Inhale, supported lunge, lunge forward. Back knee lifts. We're thinking of moving the back knee up and pulling the collarbones forward. Exhale, pyramid pose, the feet will adjust. And we take that fold into the left leg. So if you need to, again, there's a kind of rearranging of the spine. So can we inch that belly a little closer down towards that left knee? And then see what happens if you push the feet into the ground a little. So have that feedback, that stability underneath you. Supported lunge to inhale. Step the ball of the right foot back. Look forward and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold, back foot steps to the top. High mountain is the inhale, circle up. Exhale, Samastiti, hands together. Chair pose as you inhale, bend the knees, take a big scoop of air, and then exhale to stay and steady. Shift the weight to the left foot. Right foot to hover just above the floor. 3 Virabhadrasana 3, right leg kicks back as you reach the arms forward. So if you have the flexibility and it feels good in your body, you can straighten that standing leg. Can you take one more breath to stay? Single leg mountain as you inhale, your right knee to your chest. Keep your arms up in the air. Exhale, straighten the right leg out in front of you. Try and attempt heel up to hip height. We hold for 2, for 1. Pendulum the right leg to the back of the mat. Lower the right knee to the floor. Anjaneyasana is your inhale. So we want to remove that back bend again. So you're going to close off the ribs a little. See what happens if you squeeze that right glute and direct the right hip bone forward. And then still reach wrists up, fingers up. So as we engage something in the back line of the body, the opposing side, so the opposite side, is going to feel more sensation. Release the hands down to the floor. Standing splits is your inhale. Launch the right leg to the sky. And then breathing. You can squeeze that right glute to lift the right heel a little higher. I don't mind if the hip wants to open here. And then think of folding belly down towards the standing leg. Well, inhale, single leg mountain. Use your arms and maybe a little bend to your left leg to pull the body through. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Take peace fingers of the right hand to your right big toe. And then kick the right leg out in front of you. Find that steady point for the eyes, that single point. Breathe for 3, for 2. On 1, step the right foot to the back of the mat, lower the hands to the floor. Single leg plank is the inhale, left leg to float. Exhale, it's a single leg chaturanga. You're welcome to use that right knee. Single leg plank is the inhale, left knee to nose is the exhale. So you're going to inhale, take the left knee to tap the ground straight underneath you, and then exhale, bring it back up to the nose. We'll go 2 more. Breathe in. Lean on your breath. Exhale. Once more. Exhale. Step your left knee under your left hip. Supported side plank on the left side. Reach your right arm to the sky. So if this is enough, you're so welcome to just stay here. If you want more, you reach the right arm up and overhead. So as much as we're reaching, we're trying to not get light on that right foot, so still really press a heavy right foot into the floor. And if you want to create an even bigger arc, you bend the bottom leg And start to think of right fingers moving out in front of the left fingers. Think of expanding right ribs to the sky. Breathe into that side body. Take one more inhale. Exhale, 2 hands to the ground. High plank as your breath in to step back. One time only, we're going to exhale, belly to floor. Reach the arms out in front of you as you breathe in. Cactus the arms on the exhale. Plant the hands, tuck the toes. Plank, inhale, straighten the arms. Down dog, exhale. It's one breath. It's one. Bend the knees a little. Make your way back to the top of the mat. We'll go one round at the top. So halfway lift to breathe in. And exhale, fold. High mountain, inhale, circle all the way up. There's a little natural pause at the top of the breath, and then straight away, give way to the exhale. It's an exhale to fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Take a vinyasa again, and meet me back in down dog. It's your final vinyasa. So you can really think of absorbing, noticing, and just paying attention. And then once you're in down dog, maybe you even want to close down the eyes, kind of settle any distraction. And then take a couple rounds of breath. Let it be a little more audible, so let it feel like it's concentrated, it's purposeful. And then lower the knees down to the ground. You can untuck the toes and sit back to your heels. Okay, so we're going to work, just for a couple moments, a handstand attempt, maybe a handstand hold, depending on where you are in your practice. I don't want it to feel like this is intimidating or overwhelming. Most of us start from a very similar point, and I feel like even if it just feels like we're building some foundation blocks, even if it's just that feeling of having 2 feet up off the floor, and just building some confidence, and of course building some strength. And something like this is just time, it's patience, it's dedication, but it's also technique. So I'm going to run you through kind of the 4 or 5 main things, and then we'll take a couple rounds to hop and to move through. It's up to you if you want to just watch and pause for this, or if you want to move through this with me. But you're going to have the hands underneath the shoulders, and we've got the fingers spread wide on the floor. So if we were to watch our feet when we're in something like a single leg mountain, the foot is working really hard to keep us steady. And I think there's this illusion that a handstand is still, and it's not. It's always buoyant, it's always moving. It's always feeling like we're falling one way or the other. So if you feel like you're falling forward, what I mean by that is it's feeling like you're going to fall over your hands into a back bend. You drive your fingers, front of the fingers into the ground. That pulls center of gravity back through center. If you're feeling like you're falling back, like you're going to land back on your feet, you press the heel of the hand into the ground, and that brings center of gravity back to the center of the hand again. So we're constantly kind of kneading the hands into the floor, and we're constantly countering falling one way or the other. You're going to look between your hands. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, and step one foot a little closer towards you. I like to stack already my shoulders over my wrists. I've already got one thing aligned and in place, and now it's just a matter of trying to get my hips up above my shoulders. I mostly see this happening where we're trying to kick the feet up. As hard as it feels initially in your body, you're trying to send your hips up over your shoulders first, take your ribs with you, and then the rest will follow through. The last 2 things that I would add on is, as you're kicking, sync it with a really big, expansive inhale. The more we can breathe that full breath, the more I feel like there's that floating sensation, there's that kind of assistance up. And then once you're in the air, everything is really long, it's really engaged, it's really strong, so everything right to the ends of the toes. So if we piece that all together, I've got the hands under shoulders, I've stepped 1 foot in, shoulders come over the wrists, I'm looking between my thumbs. I'm going to take a big inhale to pop my hips up over my shoulders, and if you can see my hands, they're working really, really hard to keep me here.
You're welcome to hold this kind of L shape or bring your legs together. It's also natural when you first find the handstand to feel like you have to hold your breath. I like to hold, and once I feel like I'm steady, then I introduce kind of a slow, calm breath. So if you feel like you've caught it, hang on with your hands, hold your breath, and once you feel like, okay, I've got this, then we'll start to introduce a breath, and now you're playing with that kneading in your hands. Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 to 5 more rounds to kick. Obviously, if you want to pause and kick a little more, you're welcome to. But think of that big inhale to pop your hips up over your shoulders, and then think long, long, long line of energy. So think legs to the sky, push out of your hands. I'll give you 3 or so more breaths. And then when you're done, if you need a little longer, again, just pause the video. If you've had enough, we're going to meet in an embryo. So you're going to bring knees together, tops of the feet to the ground, sit back to your heels, forehead to the floor, lay the backs of the hands to the ground, and just let the shoulders internally rotate towards the floor. So there's that softness, that heaviness to the front of the shoulder. You might want to take a couple rounds of a bigger breath or just a slower breath. There's this really nice echoing here of the breath up against the ground, so some feedback. You might notice a heartbeat on the knee or on the quad. But just pay attention to everything. Keep relaxing shoulders, let the elbows get heavy down towards the floor. And then next time you inhale, Vinyasa to lift the chest. Exhale, plant the hands out in front of you for a tabletop. High plank to straighten 2 legs back. You're going to lower the whole body down. It's the last time to do this. Untuck the toes at the bottom and meet me in a Sphinx pose. So elbows stack underneath your shoulders. If you have a tight lower back, you can wiggle your elbows a little further forward out in front of you. And then to the outside world, it might seem like there's not a lot going on here, but I want it to feel like we're really engaged in what we're doing. So push the tops of the feet into the floor, feel the quads switch on. And then pull the scapula towards themselves, like you're trying to peel the back onto yourself. And then pull your belly button to your spine a little. And try and stay wide across the collarbones. You can either stay and maintain this, or straighten the arms a little. They don't have to be fully straight. Think of wrapping the triceps back, the biceps forward. Can you push the hands into the floor? And then still pull belly to spine and still pull the scapula together. We'll take 1 more inhale. Exhale, thread 1 arm underneath you. It doesn't matter which. And you're going to roll onto your back. You'll need to shimmy the spine through the middle. Once you're on your back, kick 2 legs down to the bottom of the mat, reach the arms up above the head. Take that full body lengthening, that full body stretch. And then you're going to exhale, bend your knees. Bring your knees in towards your chest, take your hands to your knees. You can take a little rock side to side. Okay, we're going to close with a fish pose. So you're going to plant 2 feet down to the floor. Scoop the hands underneath your glutes. You'll have the palms facing down towards the ground. Re-straighten the legs. Bring the ankles nice and close together. Push the elbows, the forearms, into the floor. You're going to lift the whole back up off the floor. And then relax the very top of the head. That's the crown of the head to the ground behind you. See if you can now point the toes down towards the floor. So it's really long, engaged legs. Breathing into the front line of the body. Take 2 more breaths. Bring your chin to your chest to unravel. You will unloop 1 hand at a time. The back of the head now on the floor. You've got that little tuck of the chin back and towards the collarbones. And then any other movement that you feel like you need to take in your body, you are free to. You could meet me in a Shavasana or a similar shape.
but some kind of resting pose. And then just take your time to settle in, to check in. And then close down the eyes. If you want to take a couple of those regulating breaths first, you can go ahead and do that. Check in with points of the body that might feel like they're in tension: shoulders, chest, throat, brow, jaw, belly. Even think of melting a little more of the upper mid back to the floor, backs of the hands to the floor, outer blades of the feet roll out. Then just center your mind to this feeling of your body succumbing to gravity. To that breath that feels really rhythmic, really soothing. And in this state, as we start to move out of fight or flight and into the rest and digest, we're able to really receive and integrate all the gifts, all the wisdom of the practice. We're going to stay here for around 5 or so more breaths. I'm going to guide you out of Shavasana with me. So really just lean in and relax in for the next 3 or so breaths. If you really feel like you need to stay here, of course you're absolutely free to. If you want to close together, we'll start to move hands and feet a little, just like we did at the start. Reach the arms up above the head, take a long stretch along the ground. And then pull your knees in towards your sternum. You'll keep the right arm up over your head and roll onto your right hand side. So you're using your bicep like a pillow for your cheek. 2 knees are close in to the chest. And then press the left hand down into the ground. You'll join me in a seat. You can face yourself in any direction, and if you can, keep your eyes closed, so keep that kind of insular feeling. Settle the hands anywhere that feels comfortable. They can be in the lap, they can be in a mudra if you'd like. Anchor your sit bones into the floor. Think spacious spine, soft face. Re-regulate, so steady the breath again. And then bow your head down to the body or the heart, drop your chin to your chest. And really just as a thank you, and a genuine thank you for this body, the privilege of movement and of health not lost on us. Thank you to this practice, this lineage, to all the teachers that have come before us. And thank you as always from me to you. Thank you for joining me, for practicing with me, for trusting me. It's such an honor and a pleasure, and I hope I see you again soon.